is the part where I cover everything wrong with this machine. All right, so let me get the light on real quick so we can actually see. When I started this video, the sun was still up. So here's where we're currently sitting at the moment. This right here is the board. Normally there's this sheet over the top of it, which I removed so that I could actually see what was going on down below. I might as well just chuck this on top of it because, you know, this right here is out of order. And what I mean is, if you look right here, on this component right here, I'm trying not to touch it, but yeah, this battery right here has gone explodey. That's not supposed to be explodey. So yeah, need to clean that off. What happened was, I beat the first level of Metal Slug 2 so hard that the rechargeable battery exploded. Yeah, I'm just that awesome. No, actually, it just gave out. After 6 years of not being charged, the thing was just like, nah, I'm good. I'm out, bro. And that's kind of where I'm sitting on that. So I broke the board. Not surprising. In good news, I did replace the bolts, so this is easily replaceable now. I've bought new joysticks. I've got those coming in the mail. I've got cherry switches coming for most of the things in here. I bought a used lot of buttons with cherry switches. Don't know if the cherry switches are going to work, but the reason I bought the lot was it comes with a player 1 and a player 2 button, which I'm going to use to replace the player 1 and player 2 buttons, which are just plain Jane boring old white buttons. So I'm replacing those. Let's see, what else? I got the monitor working, despite the fact that the game was just like, nope. The monitor still works, which is good, because what I'm going to do is, well, actually what I did was, I got the colors and contrast and so on and so forth correct. I fixed that. When I first pulled the board out, you know, like literally the board and everything else in there, yeah, I was messing with the flywheel back there, you know, in terms of there's control button knobs on there, which those control the color. The actual control for the horizontal scroll, the length, the width, you know, the whole on 9 yards, all of that was on another board that was screwed in, but had fallen off. I had no idea. And so I got to looking around in there, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's my controls. And I got the monitor technically working. Is it completely correct? No. But we're a little closer now. I'll take it. Until I fix that battery issue, though, there's no Neo Geo machine. It's pretty much borked until I fix that. And that's not great, and that's not what I want to say, but can't be helped. It is what it is. So I'm going to have to fix that before I can do anything. I also need to neutralize the acid on the board, if there is any. I don't know if that particular battery has acid in it or not, so I'm going to find out. Also, I'm not looking forward to finding out what that part costs to replace. Basically, you know, batteries like that nowadays are a little expensive. I mean, a dinky little button cell battery is like $5, $6 around here. So I'm figuring a battery that's that big around, probably not going to be cheap. I'm figuring probably close to a $20, $30 part, which will bring my total repair costs so far up to about $100. Not happy about that, but I'm looking forward to this being in my arcade. Obviously, there's no side art on this, and that is both a problem and not a problem. Now, why that isn't a problem is because I'm looking at it and I'm going, you know, it is a problem in that there is no side art, but it's not a problem in that when I'm done with it, it's basically a blank canvas. I can do whatever I want with that, and I'm thinking I might actually make a sort of like art for the side of it and make my own literal just custom Neo Geo arcade machine at that point. Just be like, you know what? This is the ghost quarters now. I don't care that somebody else tried to convert it and failed. You know, your arcade machine has no soul. Mine does. That's kind of how I look at it. So, yeah. I'm just going to make it into kind of a legendary arcade machine and call it a day at that point. It's going to be what it is. The next thing that I realized was the nuts and bolts on there. I'm probably going to have to cut and shave those down because they're kind of interfering with the door closing. Now, the ones that I had originally in here, these were how long they were. And I distinctly remember having a hard time getting the thing to lock and close in the first place. In fact, if not completely impossible. I'm figuring if I sawzall those down to, you know, like this, it'll probably close a little better. So I'm probably going to do that at some point. But we'll see how I feel about that. The point is, I'm probably going to have to remove the entire control panel in order to replace everything on there anyway, because I'm not going to do that here. I'm going to do that probably over at my apartment where I've got plenty of room to do it. And I will probably just get that done and start over with the board. Well, the entire panel, because some of the buttons work, some of the buttons don't. The joysticks are pretty much like playing with mud. They don't respond correctly. The player 1 is completely borked. The only joystick button on there that actually works is the up button, which I may reuse that in the next one. If the joysticks I bought didn't come with, you know, cherry switches, I will probably have to buy new ones. So I'll probably just replace the whole darn thing at that point. Just be like, you know what? I'm already buying this. I may as well just buy the rest of them. And just completely change out everything. That way I'm starting fresh and I know every button is going to work. One of the biggest issues was somebody soldered one of the buttons on. That's a big issue because now I have to desolder that from a button and or just probably snip the thing off, put a new connector on, and then start over with that because somebody thought it was a good idea. If I ever meet the person again that had this machine, I'm going to yell at them. It's not going to be pretty. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm currently sitting. Is I've spent a lot of money on an arcade machine today, between nuts, bolts, light bulbs. Yes, I bought light bulbs. The coin doors were the lights behind the coin door weren't even functioning, so I had to buy those. Truth be told, I need to strip that entire thing off and clean that because it doesn't look very good. So that's a thing. Yeah, it's been kind of a cluster this entire time. Truth be told, I probably should look into buying LCD bulbs instead so that that's more bright. I'm thinking about changing out the Suzo Hap 25-cent reject slots and putting my own custom artwork in there. I'm thinking about modding this in all the most basic ways to make it look more Ghost Quarter-ish than it currently does. I kind of like that idea because at least then, you know, I'm looking at it and going, yeah, it may not be original. It may not be, you know, an actual Neo Geo. It's a conversion, but you know what? It's my conversion at this point. It's mine. And that's kind of how I'm looking at it is, you know, everybody's got a Neo Geo. I have my own personalized Neo Geo at this point is kind of how I'm looking at it is, you know, I mean, I can have a Neo Geo or I can have a really cool Neo Geo. That's how I'm looking at it. And I'm going to have to buy a new bezel anyway. I want to show you something here. Somebody decided it was a good idea to basically take a sawzall to the bottom of this thing so it fit into the arcade a little better, into the cabinet. It's not straight. you can even see where they originally tried to mark it to make it sanded down to fit better. They didn't even try. I'm gonna need a new marquee for this as well. So, yeah, truth be told, I need to just buy a whole new one of these altogether. So, yeah. This is going to get interesting real quick because I'm going to get this operational and then I'm going to go from there because there is a wide variety of games a person can put in one of these. And I think there's probably better games than Metal Slug 2. So, yeah. I mean, Metal Slug 2 actually isn't that bad, but I mean, look at how bootleg this is. Alright? Pretty sure it's not supposed to do that. I'm figuring probably, yeah. Let me just check something here. I just want to see. Nope, it's just naturally like that. I don't think it's supposed to do that, but here we are. So, also, this is how you know it's a bootleg. Somebody ripped off where the serial numbers are supposed to be. Bet you if I went back in time, this is probably a bootleg, so. Alright, that's everything wrong with my arcade machine so far that I've diagnosed. The battery's dead, the joysticks are dead, most of the cherry switches are dead. I've repaired several things. The monitor actually works. I need to figure out what I'm doing with the lights up above. I can just disconnect that and figure out how to power that. Well, how to power a normal multiverses selector on there. I think everything else is actually there. There is one thing that I'm curious about, though. It keeps talking about a memory card. I don't know if this actually has one, so I kind of need to find that out. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'll catch you next time. Bye.